We have a long way to go in this country, and it is shown, it has shown in our preference, it has shown in what we support. We are not united supporting what is happening with Israel and Hamas, Israel, Palestine, Israel, Iran, Israel, Hezbollah, Israel, Lebanon. We know that Lebanon has Christians in it, but you can see Hezbollah is that arm that want to carry out strikes and attacks on Israel. These are terrorists being supported by some parts of Nigeria. Hamas, a terrorist organization being supported by some parts of Nigeria. Iran, who is having to support terrorist network to eliminate Israel, is supported by some parts of Nigeria. That is why when you go to our constitution, you see that there's Sharia in our constitution, apart from what every other persons ascribe to in Nigeria. We are a secular state, but in our constitution, some people are allowed to practice a certain Sharia. There are no-go areas in a secular state, which we see, which we, in quote, united. The North are supporting terrorists in the Middle East. The South, some of the South Christians are supporting Israel, while the Southwest is divided. You know, the Southwest is either they are Muslims or they are Christians. So the Christians amongst the Southwest will be supporting Israel, while the Muslims likely. Now, the Nigerian state, a Muslim ticket, what is their stand? Who do they support? Where do they lie? Now, when Netanyahu gave his speech at the United Nations Assembly, the Nigerian officials left the scene. It is showing you that they support Palestine. Nigeria, which is a secular state, supports Palestine. When you look at our money, our paper money, you see the inscription, Arab inscription. Most of us from the South, we don't subscribe to these people because of what these guys has brought on the world. When you look at terrorist organizations in the world, most of them are from a certain religion. When you look at largely terrorist organizations, Al-Qaeda, ISIS, Al-Shabaab, all of them, you see that these terrorists are from a certain religion. And coming back to Nigeria, the religion is supporting these same guys, whether partially, manually, whether fully, or what, they are supporting these guys. Some people in the North are mourning the death of Nasrallah. Nasrallah was that leader that was killed by Israel, and many other people were killed by Israel. So that shows you where our priority lies as a nation. Why some of us will not want to identify with these kinds of persons. It is long overdue to tell you that regionalism is the way forward. We cannot be supporting Hamas. We cannot be supporting Hezbollah. Even in Iran, the people in Iran hate the government, hate the regime. In Hezbollah, most of those Hezbollahs are Christians, but they are not in good terms with the regime. These Islamic fundamentalists has hijacked the country, and they are pushing all sorts of agendas. You know that Iran, the people of Iran, do not support the regime. So the government is running on its own. Same thing that is happening in Nigeria. Most people don't support the Muslim ticket. One of the reasons why Tinubu would have lost, if it were a free and fair election, would have lost the election, is because the Southwest Christians never supported a Muslim ticket. Not because they would not have voted for a Tinubu if he had a Christian vice. Let's get this straight. The Southwest did not really vote against Tinubu because of his antecedent. No, whether he has a case or criminal case, he has done this, he has done that, or his credibility or his integrity, they voted against him because of the Muslim ticket. So it was religion-based. That's why 2027 will be a different, with the rigging machinery and the people accepting their faith to support ethnicity. So the Southwest, those that voted against Tinubu, will likely say, I'm not voting again because Nigeria is not good. Stay on the fence. They prefer not to vote PWO. No. Let the country even spoil. than for Peter Obi to become president. They will now, those that will even vote will vote because of ethnicity. So the reasons why the Yorubas voted against it, Tinubu, because of the Muslim ticket. Now this Muslim ticket went to the United Nations General Assembly and threw their weight behind Palestine Hamas terrorist organization and said they should give Palestine a state. See, our ideologies, our preferences, what we hold dear, very different. Like I said before, our constitution, you see Sharia in the constitution. There's no Mosaic law in the constitution. A secular country, you see Sharia. Some people have a separate law for themselves. And you call Nigeria United Nigeria. We are just deceiving ourselves. Very much we are deceiving ourselves. Now the North is taking it to another step, making it a policy amongst themselves to support Palestine. While the Southeast, the South, largely Christians, would not do that support, have that support. We are here. Now we have understood, we have come to understand that Nigeria is not one. We have come to understand that Nigeria cannot stay together as a nation. If you have these two preferences, the statement that we have from Shettima could land us in trouble. The statement that Shettima made at the United Nations General Assembly could land us in trouble. And we're asking these questions. Is this the stand of the government? Is he speaking on behalf of the government? So if there's no answer, then we can already say that he's speaking on behalf of the government. He can sever relationships with Israel. And Israel is bent on targeting terrorist organizations all over the world because they are a network. If you have ISIS, ISWAP, if you have Boko Haram in Nigeria, they work as a network. And it is always a particular religion. And you're expecting us to share a country with such people. It shouldn't be possible. We are making this call for regionalism. We are going to take steps very soon. We are making this call for regionalism. Let everybody stay and practice their religion and do whatever they can do. When Islam crept into Lebanon, they came innocently. Before you knew it, they started creeping, taking over, Look at what is happening in the UK. Where some of these migrants are saying there are some cities that they're establishing Sharia. You want to take over people's... Why don't go to your country and establish that Sharia? So when they come to any environment, they want to dominate and take over by force. Most times when you see conversions in that religion, you see that it is almost by force. By force, manipulation, coercion, and whatever. They make sure that it is difficult for you to breathe. But where Christianity, it is mutual. It is a lovely... You are being preached to, and if you don't want, nobody forces you. Nobody... You can slap the preacher and it doesn't do anything to you. He just prays for you. It's a religion of peace and love. Nobody... When we do campaigns or when we do crusades and everything, it's just... But the other, they either go through marriage, they either go through politics to make sure they enforce, they either go through economic... When they're in charge of the economy, they use the economic prowess and power they have to make sure that they force you economically, they force you politically, they force you through marriage, culturally, to join. This is, if they can't force you, and when they are more in the government, they take their position and enact laws that will make sure that by force, you join their religion. And these are the people we are sharing a country with. These are the people we are sharing it. You see, one thing about the Fulani is that if Fulani goes to a place, he studies the environment, he comes as an innocent person. Before you know, he brings his brother, and they start increasing. Before you know, they start getting involved in some things. Most of them get... I've met a Fulani before, and they have a deceptive character, I tell you. That's why I said it is only the Igbos and Fulanis that can stay together, and we will not worry about anything. Although we might be having clashes within ourselves, we are okay with that. Yorubas cannot stay with the Fulani in a country. But I put that to you. Without the Fulani having its way, their way against or dominating, wanting to dominate. I know Yorubas have a way they can go around it and keep their steeds, maintain their stand. But they will not like that trouble. But the Igbos, we want it. The only reasons why we are here today is because the Southwest and the North, they join their hands together to fight the Igbos. And the Southwest, they are neither here nor there. They are neither here nor there. So you don't really know where their stand is. When you look at religion, you can see a Muslim in a family and a Christian in the family. So, yeah, you understand. But when you go to whether it is a core Fulani or a Hausa, is either they are Christians or they are Muslims. In the South, is either they are Christians or Muslims. You can't even want to practice become a Muslim in just the Southeast. But in the Southwest, you can be a Muslim today and be a Christian tomorrow. So we don't know where they stand really. Most of the people that are causing these problems, that is aligning with the North, are the Yoruba Muslims. You can call them the Arab Muslims. When you look at the history, some of them have this Arab lineage. The reasons why we are here today, that Nigeria would refuse to go to regionalism, is because of the Yoruba Muslims. Yoruba Christians have really no problem. When you look at them, they have no problem. When you see all this bigotry online or whatever, this government, whatever, it is almost propagated by the Yoruba Muslims. Not all of them. So this feudal whatever, Nigeria should have protested against Sharia in the constitution, but because of some particular people, we don't know their stand. We don't know where they stand. They don't have an emphatic stand. Now, when Shettima made that statement, Tinubu should have come out to say that this is the stand of Nigeria on Israel and Palestine. Nobody said anything. Everybody now left in confusion. So nobody knows where they stand. So the reasons why the Igbos are in the place they are today is because they may feel that they are aligning with the Southwest, but the Southwest are somehow aligning with the North. So they have joined hands together to fight the Southeast with force and politics, with the ruggedness of the North and the politics of the Southwest. That's how they are able to, for the time being, subdue the Southeast. But when it comes to let's split this country, none of them stands a chance. Yoruba won't want to stay, may likely want to stay with the Igbos in the country, but they'll feel that the Igbos want to dominate. So the domineering tribe are the Igbos and the Fulanis, or the Fulanis, not even the Hausas. If the Igbos and the Hausas stay together, the Igbos have this domineering whatever spirit to dominate. Just the Igbos and the Fulanis. If the Fulani comes to an area and what he does, he multiplies, takes over some portion of land, makes it ungovernable, gets into places of power, they enter the military and they get into rank, their plan. They go through religion, and if they cannot, that's why they find it difficult to come to, the Igbos are the ones that are making it difficult for them to spread their Islamization agenda, and it pains them a lot. The more reasons why we are saying no to IDP camps in the Southeast. They cannot spread their Islamization agenda. It is not part of us. When you say this is a religion of peace, let it show itself as a religion of peace. Don't come through manipulation. Don't come through politics. Don't come through economy. Because you are more in the army, don't come through force. Let us understand what is happening. Most people that are Southeasterners, most, not all, that are Southeasterners that are Muslims may have done so because of either political reasons or economic reasons, or for the fact that they have been stifled or they are being forced in a way. We heard that during the war, some of these guys kidnapped children, young children, from the Southeast and took them to the North. And at the end of the day, they are Muslims. This is how they do their own evangelism. So we as a country, we don't know where we stand. Everybody's divided. One supports Hamas, one supports Israel. And still, when you come back to Nigeria, you tell me that they are against Boko Haram. Boko Haram. You support Hamas and you are speaking against Boko Haram. You are speaking against the bandits and Tuji. I don't understand. Or is it that because I know some of us, we are not using our brains anymore? I wonder the kind of human beings we have in Nigeria at this point in time. Even when you call IPOB terrorists, you know what you're doing. In the real sense of it, if you want to say the truth, you just want to becloud your sense of reasoning and try to attach them. The Niger Delta militants, are you not going to call them terrorists? Didn't they kidnap? At the point in time, didn't they kill? Did the IPOB do the same thing that the Niger Delta people did? The OPC, at the point in time, did they kill? The Arewa, whatever. At the point in time, the clashes didn't lead to them killing. So you want to now demonize the IPOB because of when you push them to the wall, they have to start defending themselves. They were in the world, they were seen as one of the best agitating groups in the world. In the world sees these guys as saints, but in Nigeria, that is being run by fundamentalists. We'll see, look at the Nigeria that is calling IPOB terrorists. Look at, they are supporting Palestine and Hamas. They are showing sympathy for Hezbollah, world-renowned terrorist organizations. You can see where we are at where our priority as a country lies at the moment. We are supporting world-renowned terrorist organizations that are bent on killing, decimating, bent on erasing the lives of whoever they see as the enemy. They're bent on whoever they see as the enemy, they can erase everybody. And wherever they find themselves, they want to dominate and put their Sharia and make sure they subdue. They have these domineering tendencies anywhere they go. I gave an example of the United Kingdom. When they go to United Kingdom, it's innocent. They started working. Somehow they found themselves. They took over an area. They had populations. They started migrating. It becomes council. They become mayors. They started having places in power, having their stand in power. At the end of the day, they just wake up one day and start installing Sharia and making sure that some people's rights are being trampled upon. These are the people that the North are supporting because they have the same characteristics and tendencies. That religion has the same characteristics and tendencies. So here in the South and the Southeast, we don't know what the stand of the Southwest, because it seems like they are double-faced, because they are also embracing Islam and Christianity. We don't know their stand. But in Southeast, we don't support terrorists. We don't support fundamentalists, Islamic fundamentalists. Like Israel, we do not support. We don't support. They are not welcome. In the Southeast, they can be welcome elsewhere, but they are not welcome in the Southeast. They have become a menace to the world. Now, Iraq has fired missiles into Israel, and Israel is getting ready to attack. Israel, that little small dot, that tiny dot, like Buhari, the dot, that dot is terrorizing 57 Islamic countries. They didn't even look for a place to give. These countries have vast number of lands, yet they don't have a place for Palestine. They cannot accommodate Palestine. You see how small Israel is. Israel is just like New Jersey. Not that big, but yet they are doing wonders. Yet these countries surrounding them wants to eliminate them, erase them out of the world map. From Jordan to the sea. So from the beginning of their boundaries, they want to erase them and flush them to the sea. That is their point. And they are pushing for a Palestinian state to, from within, destroy Israel, while Israel is saying no. Iran attacked Israel. The world powers kept quiet. When Israel returns the favor, then everyone will start shouting. Not These people in the north are not seeing what is being done to Israel at the point in time. But when Israel retaliates, defend itself and its people, if not for technology that Israel has, millions of people will have died as a result of the missiles that are being shot by Iran. Let's assume that Iran hopes to kill millions. And when Israel fires its own, retaliates, and it starts killing hundreds of thousands, if not millions, then people will come out and start shouting that Israel is a killer, killing babies and whatever. This world is messed up with all these preferences, with all these things that we are thinking. This world is messed up and much more. Nigeria, I don't know where we stand. I don't know where we stand. But I know that Biafrans stand with Israel and we stand for a just cause. We stand for the children of God. If Shetima and the likes and the Muslims win ticket, the Muslim world stands for Palestine. That is their own. But we stand for the Jews. Even though you might say they are not that Christian, there's a covenant. One thing about covenant we must respect is from generation to generation. There's a covenant God has with Israel. And because of that covenant, we are standing with Israel till the end.